Welcome to the Workshop Dojo, and today we are looking at the Holy Grail, the Festool Tracksaw, and this is the new or the most recent cordless TS C55 KB. We're going to have a look at the details on this today. Okay, so the Holy Grail Festool Tracksaw. Now, number one question is why get the cordless version as opposed to the corded version? This is probably quite simple, really, which is that if you are in a workshop and you don't really move around, probably the smartest choice would be the corded version. If you're moving around, maybe the cordless. But there's a little bit more nuance involved in that, and we're gonna tease that apart today on this review. Okay, so why did I choose the cordless as opposed to the corded, the new corded version? I mean, I'm not really moving around. I am in a semi workshop, although I haven't got a workshop, but I don't really move around that much with my kit. So why did I choose the cordless or the battery or the new battery version of this beast of a machine? Well, number one reason is this. Yes. How many batteries do I actually have? Yes. And I've got another one somewhere that's sitting on the radio. So for me, this was a simple choice. I mean, I've just got so many batteries, and they just came with all the tools that I bought. And I got some free batteries as well because of some free offers that Festool were doing. So, I mean, I ended up with four 2.5, which basically runs the saw. So I got four, and I've got two 4.0, which I love these, by the way, but I'll do another review about them another time. These 4.0 batteries, the size of them, and the power is just amazing. Anyway, that's another video. But so it was a very simple choice for me. So I just had so many batteries, and really, as opposed to a choice really to have a cord. Yes, when you're using this, yes, you need some dust extraction plugged in. At a squeeze, you can actually get away with not using the dust extraction. But I mean, obviously, if you can, well, then obviously you will be using it. But we'll be having a quick look at that in a minute. But really, I mean, the way that I work, I probably would use maybe one set of batteries for the whole day. If I was really kicking it and I was really doing a lot of work, I would go through maybe two sets. I would never, ever go through 3 sets of batteries. So for me, it was a no-brainer. The second reason why I decided that I was going to go for this new cordless version is because if I can reduce cords, then I will reduce cords. Especially, cords become an issue for me, really, when you're actually moving around with a tool. If you're not really moving around the tool and it's something that's completely stationary, like for example, I don't know, maybe like the vacuum cleaner, even though I do see that Festool has got a new cordless battery vacuum cleaner, but that'll probably be another review. I mean, really, to be honest with you, if you're moving around with a tool, well, then there's really, you don't really want too many cords. And push come to shove, you don't have to have anything connected to this, and you can just start using it, which is terrific. The next reason is it allows me to work anywhere within the area that I'm working in. And with a track saw, you kind of tend to be moving around when you're doing stuff. Sometimes you're over there, sometimes you're over there. And once again, to not have a cord that restricts you, I think is invaluable. And you may want to just nip something off there, or you may want to reduce something off there, or move the track and the track saw, or sometimes you're even cutting without the track. And again, it just gives you the flexibility to be able to maneuver your tool to basically anywhere that you want to be, and without trying to navigate cables. And I keep on getting caught up in cables, and I have cut cables before. I'm guilty of that, probably like everybody else. So if you can reduce it, then reduce it. The next reason that I decided that I was going to go for the new cordless track saw was the kickback safety. Now, I'm a person, if I can get any new safety technology in the tools that I'm working with, I will definitely go for them. I mean, you know, everybody makes mistakes, and they're called mistakes because they are mistakes. Nobody means to do things wrong, but we all make mistakes. Our minds are running too fast. We're thinking about other things. We've had a bad day. We lose concentration, and we make mistakes. And when you're using tools, power tools, and very powerful power tools, there's a good chance that the ramifications of those mistakes will be substantial. So I'm always prepared to pay for new safety features. Even if it costs me a little bit more money, I would always be prepared to do that. And the new kickback feature on this new track saw, I think is amazing. And I mean, I've certainly had kickback on many different tools that I've used before. And to be honest with you, to have a mechanism that reacts faster than I can react, I'm there. And, just to conclude this area on safety, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong at some point. So we just have to make sure that obviously we use the tools as safely as we can, of course, but if there are any safety features that we can implement or we can buy when we're buying a tool, absolutely. That's the reason that I decided 100% to go for the new cordless track saw. Without a doubt, it was a no-brainer for me. Now, is it any good? Absolutely, it's fantastic. The cut is clean out of the box with the blade. This is like a fine cut blade that you get with a saw. It is lovely. It cuts smooth. The engine is smooth. It accelerates. It cuts down into the material. Everything that you've heard about this saw is absolutely true. It is absolutely lovely, beautiful to use, and it is absolutely fantastic. Festool, you did a fantastic job with this. I have to tell you straight up front. Is there anything that I don't like about this saw? Yes. This is the sustainer that it comes in. Really, Festool, could you really not have made a smaller box than this? I mean, come on. Really? Do we really want to be walking around with a box the size of your house? I mean, look at I mean, look at the saw. Look at the, look, hang on. Okay, all right, that's the saw. I mean, Festool, come on. You know, I mean, listen, don't get me wrong, okay? I love your philosophy of keeping everything that you need in the box. But come on, I mean, you know, there comes a point, Festool, where your boxes are getting too big, and you know, the box. I'm going to have to start to charge rent because they're taking up so much space. I mean, come on, Festool. I mean, really. I mean, you know what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take out what's in this sustainer and try to recut it and probably put it in a smaller sustainer and try to squeeze it down. I mean, I think the reason that it's so big, well, I don't know the reason that it's so big because there really isn't a good reason, but I suspect that the reason it's so big is because they wanted, first the saw kind of goes in at an angle. I'm going to get rid of this, otherwise we're not going to be able to see anything apart from the box. Whoa! It goes in at an angle like this, and what they've got is they've got the batteries. They've got a section for 4 batteries with the saw, and the only way they could get it in would be at an angle like that, which is the reason that they decided that they were going to get like a big box. But come on, Festool. I mean, I love your sustainers. Everybody loves your sustainers, but when they are so big, okay, that we can't even get them into the rack, or we have to have a rack for one sustainer, I mean, then it becomes a problem. Now, apart from that, it is lovely. Now, in conclusion, this is an absolute fabulous piece of kit. It is really, if you're coming into the Festool system, you want to get this first. This is your first tool. Get one of these, get a track, okay? It is absolutely lovely. I did hear some complaints that it wasn't cutting fast enough, or it wasn't powerful enough. When it comes to you, it comes with a fine cutting blade, okay? And you can get like a faster cutting blade, which is a bit rougher, and you can get a finer blade. Now, the blade, I won't show you it now, but the blade changes on this are actually quite fast, and so you can actually change out the blades pretty quickly. You shouldn't be rushing. This saw is designed to cut a super fine cut, and I've used this to cut through laminate kitchen cabinets without any breakout whatsoever. That's how fine this cuts. Now, when you have something that cuts this fine, you don't want it cutting fast. So you want to cut fast, put a bigger tooth blade on it, and it will cut faster. But you know, choose your tool and then work with that tool. There is absolutely nothing I can say bad about this whatsoever, apart from the sustainer. Okay, the actual tool itself is absolutely lovely. This is out of my tool selection. This is without a doubt my favorite. It is absolutely fantastic. It's a game changer. It basically changes everything. Is it worth getting the new cordless battery version? Well, That's probably a little bit more of a difficult question. I think the corded versions are fine. The only reason to get this new version, in my opinion, is if the safety aspect is really important to you. If it is important to you, then this is your machine. If you're comfortable with your Tracksaw and you've been using your Tracksaw for a little while and you understand it, okay, and you're happy with it, no, that's fine. You don't need to upgrade. But all I can say is, this is lovely. I absolutely love it. Anyway, that's it for me, Workshop Dojo, and I will see you on the next video.